Welcome to the 𝗏𝗏𝗧 podcast with Andrea Cox, the only plant-based astrology podcast focusing on hermetic principles, cellular detoxification, and mystery teachings. Andrea's interviews include her celebrity clients, NBA ball players, musical composers, detoxification specialists, and world-renowned healers just like Andrea. Andrea is a model-turned-celebrity detox specialist, intuitive healer, and holistic wellness and life coach. You will find only authentic people interviewed on this podcast. Real recognizes real. Andrea prides herself on only inviting those who are uniquely creative.
Welcome everyone to the 𝗏𝗏𝗧 podcast. Today we have Maya Mediclar on. Maya is a devotional embodiment guide, source codes, and organic timeline keeper on the mission to support bringers of new earth on their journey of self-leadership and coming out of hiding with their spiritual gifts so that they can radiate their highest transmission into their own lives and the world. Welcome, Maya. Did I pronounce your last name right?
No, but it's okay.
How do you pronounce your beautiful last name, and what is your website?
Yeah, it's Metlichar. It's my last name. But you know, so better just to look and copy paste.
I'll practice that because I'm a stickler about getting names right. So okay. I came across you on Instagram and I could just tell you were the real deal. And, you know, call it a Pisces thing or whatever. We kind of see through people. I looked at you and I was like, this is truth. This is truth. That's the best way I can describe you, a true healer. So how did you embark upon the journey of healing?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I also resonated immediately with you when you connected. So, you know, this is perfect. How did I embark on this journey? I would say I was born into it, because I am just like this since I'm a child. Since I know of myself, I'm aware that I'm here for service. So this has been my like guiding light ever since I know of myself. So that's how it started. And yeah, and then as I was, you know, growing up and going forward, I was a criminal lawyer for 7 years. Yeah, because I thought, oh, I don't hear you now.
Interesting.
Yeah, you know, that's a funny story. Why I became a criminal lawyer? Because when I was a kid, we were watching the show LA Law, you know, that American show. So in my perception, being a lawyer equaled, you know, bringing good, bringing justice. So that's why I became a lawyer, yeah. But, you know, as it goes, as we go forward, as we grow, I just realized my highest service was somewhere else, yeah.
Curious as to where Libra is in your chart. I have a feeling Libra is probably prominent, either North Node, definitely in Vedic. There's either your nakshatra or something, because Libra represents the karmic scales of justice. And I feel like you bring people justice and you bring people peace when you work with them. What everybody's not seeing is right before this happened, we had shot another podcast and my dog was fine. And then he has a little PTSD issue with the fireplace and he started going crazy. And as soon as Maya's voice comes across, it's like, oh, it's like someone just rang the peace bells. And I know we have 3 people on today, and my assistant who's on here with us, Nestle Mushy, she was most excited about you. She's like, I looked at her website and she's so you have this about you. And one of the things, I know you do light language, and your light language is absolutely beautiful. How did the light language come up and out of you?
Yeah. Well, so it was in the time when I met my best friend, actually. And well, she just played me a YouTube video of a woman speaking light language. And that was the first time I heard it, because I am, you know, in a way, I say always I'm clueless, because I don't really follow anyone. I don't read spiritual stuff. I don't study it. I don't do this. I never did this. So I just wasn't aware, you know, that anyone was speaking light language. So I first heard it in this video, and it was immediate recognition. I have this as well. And I think that opened it up, but it took some time for me to really start speaking it. And I feel, because, you know, I didn't want to rush it. I wanted it to arise within me, from within me organically. And something what I notice, you know, when I look around and I see now more and more light language being shared, I see that people are rushing it. Let me put it like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've only seen one other true, authentic light language speaker, transmutation or what have you. And we're not friends any longer, but she doesn't really put it out there a lot. However, I think you and her both really have the gift. I think there's a lot of people pretending to have gifts these days. And I think it really, really shows up I think it really shows. I don't know if it's having 9 placements of water out of 12 in my chart, but I'm just like, okay, that's not real, that is. So it's interesting that you say that. What kind of people come to you, and what do you feel people are seeking right now? Is it assistance with their ascension process, or?
Yeah. So I feel right now, yes, the people that come to me are mostly seeking assistance with how to really anchor into their purest gifts and how to start sharing that. And I think, I mean, I'm seeing this in the world also, just in general, more and more. People are realizing, okay, there is more than what I've been told. I can feel I am more than what I'm told. And I feel more is possible than what we are shown is possible. Yeah, and so the kinds of people that come to me, I mean, you know, mostly women, and many women who are code keepers, so who carry light codes and light language, really so many of these, but otherwise highly sensitive people and empaths who really in their heart, they feel they are here to assist humankind in this massive awakening transition that we are in right now. Yeah.
I like that you said empaths. What would you say to someone like myself who is a true empath, but who has become, out of, you know, the need for protection, a little like the shell on the outside is a little hardened, because I think a lot of empaths are, you know, they're dismissed when they're younger as being too sensitive, too much of a prior, you know, there's too many straight being brought home, etc. And then as we grow up, you know, usually we get taken advantage of a few times, and then we develop this hardened shell, because I think a lot of empaths and light workers are attacked for their gifts. I really do. I feel like I definitely have been one of them. So what would you say to an empath that has had to adopt kind of a hardened shell just out of need for protection?
Yeah. Well, so first thing I would say, when you're an empath, you feel everything. You feel the collective, you feel your loved ones. So you are tapped into this intangible current of humankind, basically. So it's just a lot to feel that, firstly. And secondly, yeah, I lost my thread now because my cat was coming. But secondly, yes, I mean, this is so true. So many of us, we closed ourselves. But when remembering that this is a gift, like we were given this for a certain reason. And I see right now humankind in this awakening process that we are in, we are moving more towards feeling. So towards perceiving and knowing through feeling, not through the mind. So anyone who has this capacity to feel deeply will be a gift, will be one of the keys for humankind to move forward now in this time. So, you know, it's for me, it was really a practice of reminding myself that I'm safe, and that it's safe to feel everything, and that it's not my responsibility to save everyone and to, you know, to clear all the suffering and pain that I feel, because I feel everything, right? And I think this is a big key, because many of the empaths, they feel they need to save and help everyone.
Yeah, I feel, especially with all the DNA disruptors and things we're being told that we need nowadays, and that's why I'll be allowed to say on the platforms that I'm sharing this on. You know, for people who are pure in that way and who haven't had any, I'll say, DNA implants and things of that nature, people who don't have entity attachments and Jezebel spirits and things like that. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. The only way is through truth and alignment with who we really are. I know that for myself personally, and some of the women I'm dealing with, you know, there are things that I did to myself, my own body 25 years ago that I'm like, why did you do that? Like, this does not resonate with you. And having to make a choice to, you know, literally like go under the knife to remove things or just deal with it is very, but also, you know, the DNA that comes from, you know, what's being pushed on us as a society with these false narratives that they're trying to implant in our minds, and which affect our hearts, and you know, or the treatment affects our hearts rather, and our third eye, and closes all of that. So I think it's really interesting that you do light language to heal. And so I'm going to ask you, would you mind, I know it's midnight, after midnight where you are, would you mind doing a little light language to heal and protect, and for any empaths that may tune in to watch this when we share it on YouTube and when we share it on Spotify and all of that?
Yeah, okay. So, and one thing that I want to mention just before I tap into the transmission is I love to use the word harmonize, you know, just because the word healing, I mean, it's like a whole thing constructed around the word healing in our society. And I mean, I think many of us, you know, we had this idea, okay, I need to heal more and then this will happen. And I just feel, you know, our body, our spirit is all the time just harmonizing, trying to harmonize. So I just prefer to use that word, harmonize. So yeah, with light language, I work on harmonization and basically just creating an environment where the body can naturally come into its, yeah, natural alignment, like most optimal alignment.
Okay. I think you've already harmonized Maverick.
Good.
Unharmonized when we start, and now he seems to be under your hypnotism or something, your voice.
Yeah, animals usually feel this because light language and light codes, this is source code technology, you know. Light language for me is not a language, it's technology. And it kind of bypasses the mind, so it goes like straight to the heart, straight to the body, straight to the spirit. And usually animals and children, they feel it very quickly because they are just more open and, you know, not so programmed as we are. Okay, so I will do a transmission, to assist empaths and highly sensitive people in this time where we are receiving so much disruptive information that enters our field and just messes it up a bit. So for anyone listening, you can just prepare to receive by inhaling, exhaling, and then just breathing gently. That's it. Arashea-ki-nea-ta-ea-na-ta. Tarakashea-ti-na-sa-ea-ea-ke-ia-ia-ia. Te-aratisha-ea-na-ta. Ke-ia-na-e-ta-ea-na-ta. Shea-tia-ke-ia-na-ta-aea-tika. Shea-tea-ka-ta. Nara-te-ka-shi-na ea-i-te. Ka-ea-te-na. Ashei, tae, kae, nae, tai, shea, tia, kanata.
Yeah, it's almost like so what happened for me, and this what is also what happened the first time I ever saw you do light language, is I saw pyramids in my third eye, like of light coming out. And today it was like an orange color, but the first time it was blue, then it turned to purple and gold. And then I felt like coolness and like light, like almost like colors. And then I watched you again, and I don't even think you were talking about chakras, but you were doing light language, and I felt my posture go up and my chakras clear. And then I remember I reached out to you about something that was happening to me online. And it was almost like after I disconnected from you, I was led to actually, this is going to sound strange, but go to my Bible and just stick my thumb in it for direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told that everything was going to be okay. So I feel like you have a direct, like, beeline to source. And I do. I really feel that. I've felt it since the first time I heard you and saw you. And so how do people book with you? What do they come to you for exactly? Like, what do they, I know we spoke about it earlier, but what kind of session can they book with you?
Yeah. So nowadays I really do a bit more longer term mentoring. I don't do sessions anymore because I just saw I want to go deeper, I want to go deeper with people, and I'm interested to work with people who, just want to create a deeper change within them. Sorry, my cat is. So, I assist people either, if they want to just bring more harmonization to their life and more finding their center, opening this channel. I say each of us has our own channel, and the more you open it, the more you can receive the light, which harmonizes you. And of course, it's important to to anchor yourself in the here and now. So I help very much with embodiment, and then catalyzing soul mission and clarity on soul mission. This is a big one, why people come to me.
Clarity on their soul's mission, because that can often get confused, but often it's the outside noise that people put in our mind, like, who are we to be doing? Who are you to be harmonizing people? Who are you to be doing oracle readings? Who are you to be telling people what to eat? So I think everyone can lose their way on their soul's mission, myself included. When I started a spiritual business in 2017, it blossomed and everyone was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you can't do this. And I allowed it, as strong as I am, I allowed it to kind of slowly break me down. So I know our time's almost up, and I know you need to get to bed. What is one piece of advice that you would give to your future client that comes to you from mentoring on if they feel misguided on their soul's mission, if they don't know what their soul's mission is?
Well, I would say your soul mission is encoded within you. It's always there. It can never be lost. Nobody, and like nothing that comes or is done from the outside can make you lose this. You know, it can make the path longer, but literally whatever is happening in your life that you feel is distracting you or taking you away, or, you know, clouding your vision, this can all be dispelled. You can always return to your center because this is within you. Literally, you are encoded for this, you are born for this, and nobody can ever take this from you as long as you choose to walk this path and choose to do whatever is necessary. See whatever is difficult in your life. And so it's there. It's available to all of us when we choose to devote ourselves to the path, to the journey.
Wow, you are a master. And we're so grateful to even have like this much of you. I'm going to ask you to come on again, and I'm going to get up in the middle of the night so I can be on your time. I had no idea it was midnight for you, so I'm sorry. And is there anything else? Your Instagram is?
It's my name and my surname. I'm not so good at spelling the whole thing.
Okay.
So the best thing is
we'll link her Instagram below. And such a pleasure, like so incredibly grateful that you came on. I mean, I'm so sorry about the dogs too. I think you triggered their harmonization and wow. Is there anything else you want to tell people that are looking for? I don't even want to say the word guidance. I want to say the word harmonization, like you said. Is there anything that they can do within the realm of their own home if maybe they're not ready to come to you yet? Is there anything they can do?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you know, I always encourage people to be sovereign. I tell them, like, you don't need me to come to your center or you know, tap into your soul mission. I can assist you, but you can do it yourself or, you know, in your own way. One way for me is to establish a consistent daily practice that keeps you, you know, on your path, something that centers you. If they have something, they can do this, or, you know, like for me, it's dancing. It's like a daily remembrance invocation that I wrote first for myself, and then I shared it, you know, freely. They can find it on my website. It's just something I read that instantly puts me in my center, you know, and it can be just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Yeah.
For you, it's something you read.
Sorry?
For you, it's something you read, correct?
Yes, I read the remembrance invocation that I channeled. I read it every day, every morning before I start my day. Yeah, to really calibrate myself immediately in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so, you know, I think another thing that's really important, especially nowadays, is for people to tune out on social media. There's so much coming at us constantly.
Yeah.
We're bombarded. And
Yes.
I've even figured out a way on Facebook, like there's only 6 people's feeds I see at following of like 36,000, and there's 6 people I'm following my mom, my sisters, and my nephew. And I think that's important that we, take in less and spend more time with source, with ourselves, with our animals, in nature. Nature is so important. I know you have a deep connection with water, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. Very deep connection with water. Yeah.
And you get out in nature almost every day.
I go every day and I walk barefoot. I go to the forest and I walk barefoot. Yes, definitely. Nature is a massive harmonizer, and water is this element, that for me really assists the remembering of our truth, especially for women. I feel water is so important. And also what you were saying before about, taking out the noise. I really feel to say this because I feel it's going to be very important in the coming months and years, when so much information is coming from the outside. And I think there will soon be a lot of confusion, what is true and what is real. And, this is what we have been preparing for and are preparing for. That's why the inner work, because people will basically be able to trust only their inner compass,
I 100% agree. I find I live on a mountain growing my own food with dogs. I find that I can't even and that's it. There's an unhealed part of me that needs to socialize more, but that's nor here than there. I feel like one of the things is I can't take the falsehoods that people believe. I can't even be around it because there's such a disconnect when you can't see through the veil. And so I feel like the world is divided, but I do feel like it's going to come into a more harmonizing place. I love
100%.
you. Yeah, you are wonderful. I feel every time I listen to you do light language, I feel cleansed. I feel very almost purified by your light. And we are so grateful that you came here, and we'll link everything, how to find beautiful Maya below. And on that note, we're going to leave you with a bark because that's what's about to happen. And thank you, Maya. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like to check out Andrea Cox's most recent 4th book, Eat Right for Your Zodiac, it's the first book to ever combine astrology with plant-based eating. Andrea's Akashic record readings, holistic wellness coaching, and intuitive life coaching services are sought out by both celebrities and ordinary, everyday people like Andrea herself. If you'd like to connect with her, you can find her at AndreaCox.com, on YouTube at both Andrea Cox TV and The Detox Intuitive, on Facebook at Andrea Lee Cox, and on Instagram at Raw Chef Andrea.